Hello, my name is Mike, and I'm not working on a bike. This is my 1967 Mercury Cougar, which I've been struggling to get a running engine in. The engine that was in it had a cracked block, so I went and purchased a very cheap engine from a later model Ford truck, and we did some stuff to it. So in this episode, we're going to install this engine in this car, hopefully get it running and drivable again. And I'm trapped in here. I need to get out. Scotty, can you beam me out, please? Appreciate it. You're right there. Well, that sure made it easy. Hey, I wonder if Scotty could beam this engine into that engine compartment. Save me a lot of work. I'll give him a call. Hey, can you beam like engines and stuff? Yeah? Cool. All right, so Scotty says yes, he can do that. So, stick around.
Somewhere in a dusty, dirty back alley in western Arizona, not far from historic Route 66, is an old fart trying to cram a square peg into a round hole. He'll work on anything, just as long as it's got at least 2 cool wheels.
Well, Scotty, I'm waiting for it. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you can't beam it in here yet. I still got to change the flex plate. It's right over here. You did put it on the cherry picker for me. We'll change out that flex plate. And I don't know if this spacer is the same or not. But we'll get that swapped out. We should be ready to drop it in. Well, she's in there. I still got some buttoning up to do underneath. I got to get the torque converter bolts and actually the bell housing bolts all going. And there's just not enough room under there. With the 2-bit flat back tires and the fact that it's on pretty low jack stands, I went to use my jack and it's done. It's been on its last legs for months, years. In fact, handle doesn't even. it's junk. I've only had this jack for about 50 years. Anyway, I'm gonna run off to Harbor Freight and get me a new jack so I can pick this old girl up. That's a little more like it. Oh my goodness. If you hear me moaning and groaning, it's because, well, I'm old. My bones and my joints don't work like they used to. That's why I put this in, this hoist. So I wouldn't have to do that. Well, and the reason I'm not using the hoist now is because, well, number one, it's occupied by a car with the transmission scattered into a million pieces. And the other reason is, well, this car's been here since before the hoist was even put in. Yeah. So hopefully this is the last time I'm going to have to do this kind of crawling. God, I hope it is. Ow. Well, here's where we're at. I've got everything done I need to do underneath. The torque converter bolts, bell housing bolts, the exhaust bolts. They're all done. The engine mount bolts are all in place. So we're looking pretty good. The only thing I have left before I can actually start is, well, I've got to get a carburetor base gasket and a carburetor stud kit. I got to get the carburation on it. I'm going to have to modify the power steering to make it work because the pumps are different. Some other stuff. But just to get it to start, I got to get that carburetor on there, and I've got to get a battery for it. But that's enough for one day. I'm exhausted, and I need a nice hot bath. Try and get them sore limbs limbered up just a little bit. And then I've got to be gone for the weekend, so when I come back next week, I'll jump right back into it, and hopefully we'll give it its first start with the fresh, new, old, used, unknown, possibly bad engine. Well, I'm back from my meeting. Took me away for a couple of days. So let me show you where we're at on this thing. I got a couple more details ironed out, at least to the point where I think we can get it to pop. Not really be able to run or drive it yet. So let me show you what we've got. All right, true to this car, I have the wrong radiator, so it's not installed yet. And it's because it's wider and the mounting locations are different. I'm gonna have to build some brackets. I got the wrong hoses, so even if I put that radiator in, I still can't complete my cooling system. So we'll get that ironed out. I just want it to pop for right now, just to make sure that, well, the distributor's in right and that it's timed okay and all that sort of thing. And I got to figure out how to wire up the alternator, because this one's got the external voltage regulator down here. So I've got to figure all that out. This is the original wiring harness for the alternator. It's going to take some doing. I've got another plug back here. That would be for my ignition source and for my sending units, such as oil and water, but I don't know which one is which. So I've got to find a schematic. I had a schematic, but it was only for the lighting system, which I've already fixed. So I need more information before I can get all those put in permanently. So for the time being, we're just going to run a remote hot wire to our distributor. The other thing that I did, because this has a different type of power steering pump, is I simply took the power steering high pressure line and looped it back to the return, so that way I'm not running the pump dry. I can't connect it to the steering ram yet because I'm looking for some fittings to adapt it. But at least this way I'm not going to run the pump dry and burn up the bearings and that sort of thing. I have a massive vacuum leak I'm going to have to plug back there. I forgot about that. Anyway, because I don't have a mechanical fuel pump, I have an electric fuel pump on order. So I don't have a fuel system just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little gas into this carburetor. This carburetor is completely unknown to me. It was purchased with a manifold I bought years ago. I have no idea if it's any good, but we'll find out. And between, pouring it into this leaking float bowl and so forth, hopefully we can get a little bonfire going and get out the marshmallows. Anyway, let me plug my vacuum leak back there. I've got my remote start in place. We'll hook this up and we'll see if we can get it to pop. It's hot here. Alrighty, see what happens. Oh, that was sweet. So it appears it burned off what little I trickled in. It's not getting anything out of the float bowl, I don't think. Like I said, this carburetor is a complete unknown. I have no idea what kind of condition it's in. I haven't taken it apart. It's getting fuel in it. She sure sounded good, didn't she? A little bit more. All right, try it again. Oh, I'm liking that. Yeah, she's not squirting, so I'm not getting anything out of the float bowl. Keep trying. How much do those float bowls hold? These hollies, man, they're thirsty. It's not going down. Why isn't it going down? That's weird. Wow. Do it again. love it. That, my friends, is a happy sounding engine. And I'll tell you what, I'm a happy sounding mechanic. I'm really thrilled with that. I didn't even have to mess with the timing or anything. I got it pretty closely dialed in. I'll put a timing light on it as well. So I think we're going to end this video here. I've got to sort out the radiator and the radiator hoses. I've got to get a fitting on that power steering pump. I've got to figure out which of those wires go to which sending unit and so forth so I can get them dialed in. I've got to hook up some carburetor throttle linkage, and I'll probably pull those bowls off just to see if that carburetor is going to need any kind of cleaning or repair. Like I said, it's an unknown. I'll throw a timing light on it, and then in the next episode, we'll take this old girl for a ride. Make sure she drives okay. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.